Welcome to Pure Yoga's mindful movement for detoxification. So we're going to be doing quite a lot of rotations. We're going to keep those rotations relatively easy. So we're going to be bringing our hand to our knees and our opposite hand to our lower backs when we do our rotates. So it just keeps it simple. It stops us over compensating in those lower backs to make the twists. It makes you a little bit more mindful of how you're moving. So doing this detoxification workout just helps move toxins out of the body, gets rid of everything that we don't need. It brings a twist into those digestive systems, those internal organs. So really good throughout. Make sure you have some water. I haven't got mine at the moment, I do apologise, but have water at the side of you in case you get warm. Take water on whenever you're ready at any point. We're going to also include some Earth Salutations into this practice, so enjoy the flow. The Earth Sun Salutations make you feel very, very grounded, so we'll be adding quite a few of those in, but taking it very slow, very easy. So bringing those hands onto the top of the thighs, take a close of the eyes, take a roll of the shoulders up towards the ears, and then relax them back down towards the hips. Take a bend into the chin, bring that chin into the chest, taking a stretch through the back of the neck. Then bring that head back into centre, then gaze up to the ceiling, sending the chin up with it, bringing the stretch into the front of the throat. Bring that head back to centre, bringing your right ear towards your right shoulder. Bringing it back to the centre, left ear to left shoulder, eyes staying closed, just being really mindful of how that neck feels. Back to the centre, take a gaze around to the right side, keeping the shoulders facing the front of the mat, just turning the gaze. Bring that head back to centre, take that gaze to the left side, all the time keeping that spine nice and tall, growing up through the crown. Bring that head back to the centre. Bring the chin back into the chest. Roll the right ear to the right shoulder. Back to the centre. Left ear to left shoulder. And back to the centre. Bring the head back up to stack on top of that spine. Open the eyes. Breathe in, raise the hands to the ceiling. Breathe out and bring your right hand to the left knee and rotate to that left side of the room. Just holding it in rotation for a few breaths. Breathe in, breathe out, maybe find a little more twist, but just be mindful as it's the start of our practice. Breathe in, bring those hands back up to the centre. Then breathe out, this time bringing your left hand to the right knee and twist to the right. Long breaths in, long breaths out. Maybe using that nose now if you can, or using the mouth if you wish to continue, particularly if you're holding any colds or any allergies. Your next breath in, bring the hands back up to the ceiling, palms come together. And as you breathe out, bring that left hand to the floor and reach over with the right hand to the left side of the room. Come back to the centre and take it to the other side. Bring your right hand down, your left hand over to the right side of the room. Back to the centre. Bring the hands to interlace. Bring the hands forward, shoulder height. Bring the chin back into the chest, push the centre of the spine to the back of the room. Belly drawn back. Come back to the centre. Reach the hand behind, interlace the fingers at the bum. Push the hands down to the floor, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Lift up the chest, lift up the gaze. And then start to fold over those legs, maybe bringing the hands away from the floor, just bringing that chest down to wherever it's happy to go. Lifting those arms maybe up high or keeping those arms into the lower back. Lift that gaze back up, bring the hands back to the floor. Make your way onto your knees, Making sure you're facing that short edge of the mat at the front. Bring your feet to the back of the mat. Seat to the feet, shoulders over the hips. Relax the shoulders down. So we're going to move through our Earth Salutations now. Breathe in. Breathe out, turn the palms forward, create space in the chest. Your next breath in, push into the tops of the feet as you raise the hands to the ceiling. As you breathe out, bring the hands forward, the bum to the heels, hands to the floor. Scoop forward with the body. Lift up the chest, little baby cobra. Then bring that chest back down, tuck under those toes. Bring those chests back to the thighs. Push into the hands, push into the feet, lift up the hips and squeeze those heels back. Your next breath in, raise that right leg. And on your breath out, hips stay high, bring that knee to the nose and squeeze. Breath in, raise that leg. Breath out, bring the right knee to the heel of the right hand, right foot under the body, untuck the back toes, drop the back knee, and just rock those hips from side to side in that hip opener of pigeon. Just rocking from one side to the other, rolling through the shoulders. And then bringing those bodies to stillness. Tuck those back toes under, lift up the back knee. Send that right leg back up to the ceiling. Bring it back to meet the left. Come down onto the knees. Shoulders back over those hips, seat to the feet. And place the hands on the thighs. Breathe in. Breathe out, turn the palms forward, create space in the chest. Breath in, push into the tops of the feet. Lift the hands to the ceiling. Breath out, fold over those thighs, hands come forward, sit bones go back. Breath in, scoop yourself forward into a little baby cobra. Breath out, bring that chest back to the Thor, tuck the toes under, chest back to the thighs. Push into the hands, push into the feet, lift up the hips. Your next breath in, your left leg lifts. Breath out, knee to nose, hips stay high. Breath in, lift that leg. Breath out, left knee to the heel of the left hand, left foot under the body. Untuck the toes, drop the back knee. Rock those hips a little from side to side. Roll those shoulders. Notice how that body feels as you're opening through that left hip. How does it feel compared to the right? Tuck those back toes under. Lift that back knee. Send that left leg up to the ceiling. Bring it back down to meet the right. Come down onto the knees, tabletop position. And just rock those hips from side to side. So bringing your right foot just off the mat, send your left foot to the back of the mat, bring your weight onto your right side. Reach that left hand up towards the ceiling. Just hold it in this supported side plank just for a breath. Then on your out breath, thread that left hand in between the right arm and the right knee. Breath in, raise that hand back to the ceiling, take in that rotation through the waist. Breath out and twist. Breath in and lift. 3 more, breath out, twist. Breath in, lift. 2 more, breath out, twist. Breath in, lift. 1 more, breath out, twist. Breath in and lift. Bring that left hand back down to the floor, left knee to meet the right. Then turn your left foot off the mat, send your right foot to the back of the mat. Reach up with the right hand, hold it in that side supported plank just for a breath. Maybe gaze up to that right hand. Breath out, rotate. Bring the right hand in between the left arm, left knee. Breath in and lift. 4 more. Breath out, rotate. Breath in and lift. 3 more. Breath out, rotate. Breath in and lift. 2 more. Breath out, rotate. Breath in and lift. 1 more. Breath out, rotate. Breath in and lift. Bring that right hand down to meet the left. Right knee to meet the left. Take a little rock of the hips from side to side. Then bring yourself back onto the knees, shoulders over the hips, to take those Earth Salutations again. Breathe in. Breathe out, turn the palms forward, create space in the chest. Breathe in, push into the tops of the feet. Bring the hands up to the ceiling. Breath out, bring the bum back to the heels, hands to the front of the mat. Scoop the body forward into a little baby cobra. And then release that chest back down, tuck under those toes. Bring the chest back to the thighs, push into the hands, push into the feet. Lift up the hips, squeeze the heels back. Breath in, right leg lifts. Breath out, knee to chest. Breath in, right leg lifts. Breath out, right knee to the heel of the right hand. Right foot under the body. Untuck the back toes, drop the back knee. Rock those hips from side to side. Feel that grounding into the mat as you sink those hips a little closer towards the floor. And then tuck those back toes under, lift that back knee. Raise that right leg back up to the ceiling. Bring it back to meet the left. Take a little paddle of the feet. Then bring the knees to the floor. Sit bones to the heels, shoulders over the hips, hands onto the top of the thighs. Breath in. Breath out, turn the palms forward. Breath in, raise those hands up to the ceiling. Breath out, fold over those legs, hands to the front of the mat, seat to the feet. Breath in, scoop the body forward into an up dog. Breath out, release the chest down. Tuck the toes under, chest towards those thighs. Push into the hands, push into the feet, lift up the hips, squeeze the heels back. Breathe in, left leg lifts. Breathe out, knee to nose. Breath in, left leg lifts. Breathe out, left knee to the heel of the left hand, the left foot under the body. Untuck the back toes, sink the hips. Rock the hips from side to side, maybe move through those shoulders. And then tucking those back toes under, lift that back knee. Lift the left foot up to the ceiling. Bring it back to meet the right. Come down onto the knees. Seat to the feet. Shoulders over the hips. Take a moment here. Place the hands on the thighs. Roll the shoulders down. Close the eyes for a couple of breaths. How do those hips start to feel as we're taking a little bit of openness through them? How do those lower backs feel? Bringing your left hand onto your right knee, your right hand behind your back. Breathe in, elongate. Breathe out, rotate. Keep those pelvises neutral. Twist from the waist. Take another long, deep breath in. And another long breath out. See whether you can find a little more twist. Breathe in. Back to the centre. Right hand onto the left knee. Left hand onto the lower back. And twist around to the left. Long, easy breaths as you find that place of range of movement for your body. And then bring yourself back to the centre. Come on to your hands and knees. Heel of the hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, tops of the feet flat. Breath in, raise that right hand to the ceiling. Breath out, bring that right hand in between the left hand and left knee, right ear to the mat. Bring your left hand behind the back if your neck is comfortable, and just place it on that lower spine, lifting the left shoulder as much as you can, pushing that right forearm into the floor, finding again that rotation in the waist, and make sure you've got weight in both knees equally into the left as you are in the right. Bring that left hand back down to the floor. Push into that left hand as you raise that right hand to the ceiling. Bring the right hand back to meet the left. Your next breath in, left hand lifts. And as you breathe out, thread that left hand in between the right hand and the right knee. Bring that right hand onto the lower back if the neck's comfortable. Bring your weight back into your right knee as much as your left. Lift that right shoulder as much as you can to the ceiling, using that left forearm as a push, as an anchor. One more breath here. Then bringing that right hand back to the floor, push into the right hand, raise the left hand up to the ceiling, twist to the left. Bring that left hand down to meet the right. Come back onto the heels with the bum, shoulders over the hips. We'll take Earth Salutation again. Hands on top of the thighs. Breathe in. Breathe out. Turn the palms forward. Breathe in. Come up with the hips, hands to the ceiling. Breath out. Fold over those thighs. Hands to the floor. Breathe in. Scoot forward into a little baby cobra, or maybe a little higher up dog. Breath out, release the chest, tuck the toes, bring the chest back to the thighs, push into the hands, push into the feet, lift up the hips, squeeze the heels back. Breath in, right leg lifts, breath out, knee to the chest. Breath in, right leg lifts. Breath out, right knee to the heel of the right hand, right foot under the body. Untuck the back toes, drop the back knee, rock the body from side to side, rolling through those shoulders, finding that pigeon pose, that right foot at a 45-degree angle if we can. And then bring those hips to stillness, tuck the back knee under, back toes under, lift the back knee, right leg lifts to the ceiling, and bring it back to meet the left. Come down onto the knees, bring the seat to the feet, hands to the thighs. Breathe in, breathe out, turn the palms forward. Breathe in, bring the hands up to the ceiling, palms come together, lift the hips. Breathe out, fold over those thighs, hands come forward, sit bones go back. Scoop through into a little baby cobra or an up dog. And then release that chest back down, tuck under those toes. Bring those chests back to the thighs. Push into the hands, push into the feet, lift up the hips. Breath in, left leg lifts. Breath out, knee to the chest. Breath in, left leg lifts. Breath out, left knee to the heel of the left hand, left foot underneath the body. Untuck the toes, sink the hips down, drop the back knee. Roll with the hips towards that left sole of the foot. Roll through the shoulders. Find a little softness through that pose. And then tucking those back toes under, lifting the back knee, raising the left leg to the ceiling. Bringing it back to meet the right. Take a paddle of the feet, nod and shake of the head. Come down to the knees, bring your right foot in between the hands. Raise the arms to the ceiling. Then bring your left hand to your right knee and your right hand to the lower back. Breathe in, elongate. Breathe out, rotate. Just feel that rotation in the waist, the neutral pelvis. Push into the whole of the front foot and the sole and the top of the back foot. Activate those legs. Encourage the right shoulder a little further back, the left shoulder a little further round. Keep pushing that tailbone down and lifting that lower belly up. One more breath here. Then release those hands down either side of that right foot. Tuck the back toes under, lift the back knee. Right foot back to meet the left. Plank position. Then drop down with the knees, untuck the toes. Release down to the floor with the chest. Push into the hands and lift the chest at the front. Then release the chest back down, tuck under those toes. Chest back to those thighs. Push into the hands, push into the feet, lift at the hips, squeeze the heels back. Then come back onto the knees. Stepping your left foot in between those hands. Raise the arms up towards the ceiling, taking it into a low lunge position. Then bring your right hand to the left knee, the left hand behind the back. Breathe in, elongate, breathe out, rotate. Resist with the left knee when you're pulling with the right hand to make the rotation. Stabilize into the feet by pushing into the sole of the left foot, top of the back foot. Grounding and being supported by the floor. Left shoulder turns back, right shoulder comes around. And feel like you're tucking that tailbone under slightly, lifting the lower belly up so we don't dump into that lower back. One more breath here. Then release those hands down and tuck the back toes under, lift the back knee. Step the left foot back to meet the right. Drop down the knees, untuck the toes. Release the chest to the floor. Push into the hands and lift up the chest. Release back down, tuck the toes under, chest back to the thighs. Push into the hands, push into the feet, lift up the hips, squeeze those heels back. Coming down onto the knees, bringing our seat to the feet, shoulders over the hips to find that Earth Salutation again. Hands on top of the thighs, breathe in. Breathe out, turn the palms forward, create space in the chest. Breathe in, push into the tops of the feet as you lift the hands to the ceiling. As you breathe out, fold over those legs, bring the hands to the floor. Scoop yourself through and lift the chest. Release the chest back down, tuck the toes, chest back to the thighs. Push into the hands and feet, lift up the hips, squeeze those heels back. Breath in, right leg lifts. Breath out, knee to chest. Breath in, lift that right leg. Breath out, right knee to the heel of the hand, right foot under the body. Untuck the back toes, drop the back knee. Rock those bodies from side to side. Rolling the shoulders around, moving those joints. Then tucking those back toes under, lifting the back knee, right leg lifts. Right leg comes back to meet the left. Come a paddle in the feet. Come down onto the knees. Shoulders over the hips and tuck the toes, hands on the thighs. Breathe in. Breathe out, turn the palms forward. Breathe in, push into the tops of the feet. Hands come up to the ceiling. Breath out, fold over those legs. Hands come forward. Scoop the body through into a baby cobra or an up dog. Release the chest back down, tuck under the toes. Chest back to the thighs. Push into the hands, push into the feet. Lift the hips. Squeeze the heels back. Left leg lifts. knee to the chest, left leg lifts, left knee to the heel of the left hand, left foot under the body. Untuck the back toes, drop the back knee, rock those hips, roll the shoulders, feeling that openness coming into those hips. Tuck the back toes under, lift the back knee, left leg lifts, comes back to meet the right, takes a paddle of the feet, nod and shake of the head, come down to the knees, right foot through, in between the hands, tuck the back toes under, lift the back knee, raise the arms up to the ceiling, high lunge, bring your left hand to the right knee, your right hand to the lower back, bend into your right knee a little more, straighten the left leg a little straighter, tuck the bum down, lift the lower belly up, encourage the right shoulder back, the left shoulder around, feeling that rotation in that waist. Maybe sink a little lower in those hips, but try not to take too much of an arch into the lower back. Shoulders facing the right side, hips facing neutral to the short edge of the mat. One more breath in this position. Then release the hands down. Step back to a plank. Drop down with the knees. Untuck the toes. Chest to the floor. Push into the hands, lift the chest. Release the chest back down. Tuck under those toes. Bring the chest back to the thighs. Push into the hands, push into the feet, lift up the hips, squeeze those heels back. Come down onto the knees. Bring your left foot through, in between the hands. Tuck your back toes under, lift your back knee. Keep the hips low as you raise those hands to the ceiling. Bring your right hand to the left knee, your left hand behind on that lower back. Send that tailbone down, lift the lower belly up. Right heel pushes away to straighten that right leg. Left knee bends. Encourage the left shoulder back, the right shoulder around. Taking that twist, that rotation, that detoxification, the strengthening of the obliques in that centre of the body, centre of the torso. Holding for one more breath. Then release those hands down either side of that left foot. Step back to a plank. Release the knees to the floor. Untuck the toes. Release the chest down to the mat. Push into the hands and lift up the chest. Release the chest down, tuck under the toes. Chest back to the thighs. Push into the hands, push into the feet, lift up the hips. Squeeze those heels back. Then come down onto the knees, separate the knees as wide as the mat. Sit bones come to the heels, reach forward with the hands, chest to the floor. Threading that left hand underneath that right armpit, turning and twisting around to the side of the room. Then maybe bring that right hand arm to the lower back. Maybe lift that right shoulder, push into that left forearm. Taking a rotation in child's pose. Then reach that right hand back forward, bring the left hand to meet. Threading then that right hand underneath the left armpit, turning and twisting right ear to the mat. Then maybe bring that left hand into the lower back, lift that left shoulder, push into that right forearm. Turning and twisting to the left. Child pose rotation. Reaching that left hand back forward, right hand to meet the left, chest sink to the inside of those thighs. Then walk those hands up towards the body. Bring those knees together in the centre, sit bones to the heels, tops of the feet flat on the floor, hands on the thighs, taking Our Earth Salutation again. Breathe in. Breathe out, turn the palms forward, create space in the chest. Breath in, push into the feet, lift up, bring the hands to the ceiling. Breath out, fold over the legs, hands come forward. Breath in, scoot forward into an up dog or baby cobra. Breath out, chest back to the thighs. Push into the hands, push into the feet, lift up the hips, squeeze those heels back. Breath in, right leg lifts. Breath out, knee to the nose. Breath in, right leg lifts. Breath out, knee to the heel of the right hand, right foot under the body. Untuck the toes, release the hips to the floor. Rock those hips from side to side. Then tuck those back toes under, lift that back knee. Lift that right leg up to the ceiling. Release it back to meet the left. Take a paddle of the feet. Then come down onto the knees. Untuck the toes, sit bones to the heels, shoulders over the hips, hands on the thighs. Breathe in. Breathe out, turn the palms forward, create space in the chest. Breath in, push into the tops of the feet, raise the hands to the ceiling. Breath out, reach the hands forward towards the front of the mat, sit bone to the heels. Scoot through into an up dog or baby cobra. And then make your way back to down dog, either chest to thighs. Pushing into the hands, into the feet, lifting the hips, squeezing those heels back. Left leg lifts. Bring the knee to the chest. Left leg lifts. Bring that left knee to the heel of the left hand, left foot underneath the body. Untuck the back toes, drop the back knee. Rock those hips, move through those shoulders. And then tucking those back toes under, lifting that back knee. Lift the left foot up to the ceiling. Bring it back to meet the right. Take a paddle of the feet, nod and shake of the head. Then walk the feet towards the front of the mat, bringing the feet under the shoulders. Start to bend the knees, put the weight in the heels, bring the hands to the chest. Stay low in the hips. Left hand onto the right knee, right hand onto the lower back. Twist and rotate towards the right side. Think about pushing that tailbone down and lifting that lower belly up. Feel that movement. Try and keep both knees level. Try and keep the sit bones low, weight in the heels. And then release the hands to the floor, straighten the legs, let the head go. Breath in, raise up to a half lift. Breath out, plant the hands, step your left foot back, step your right foot back, plank. Drop down the knees, untuck the toes, release down to the floor. Roll through, uplift the chest. Make your way back to down dog, chest to thighs. Pushing into the hands, pushing into the feet, lifting the hips, squeezing the heels back. Walking the feet towards the front of the mat. Feet underneath the shoulders. Take a bend into the knees, bring the palms together. Keep the hips low, knees in line, weight in the heels. Bring your right hand onto the left knee, your left hand behind the lower back. Tuck the tailbone down, lift the lower belly up, stack the left shoulder on top of the right. Keep the weight back into the heels. Knees in line, rotation through the waist. Holding just for one more breath. Then release the hands down, lift the hips. Breath in, half lift. Breath out, step your right foot back, step your left foot back. Plank position. Drop down the knees, untuck the toes. Release the chest to the floor, elbows graze the ribs. Push into the hands, lift up the chest. Release the chest back down, tuck under the toes. Chest back to the thighs, Push it into the hands, push it into the feet. Lift up the hips, squeeze those heels back. Coming down onto your knees. Seat to the feet, untuck the toes, hands to the thighs, shoulders over those hips. Earth Salutations again. Breathe in. Breathe out, turn the palms forward. Breathe in, bring the hands up to the ceiling, shoulders over the hips, hips over the knees. Breath out, fold over those legs, hands come to the front of the mat. Roll through into a baby cobra or an up dog. And then release that chest back to the thighs. Push into the hands, push into the feet, lift up the hips, squeeze the heels back. Breath in, right leg lifts. Breath out, knee to the chest. Breath in, lift. Breath out, right knee to the heel of the right hand, right foot underneath. Untuck the back toes, drop the back knee. Rock those hips, roll those shoulders. How's that right hip feeling as we've done a few Earth Salutations? Then tuck those back toes under, lift that back knee, right leg lifts. Then brings it back to meet the left. Come down to the knees. Seat to the feet, shoulders over the hips, hands to the thighs. Breathe in. Breathe out, turn the palms forward, create that space in the chest. Breathe in, push into the tops of the feet, arms come up high, shoulders and hips stack. Breath out, fold over those thighs, hands come forward. Breath in, scoot forward into an up dog or baby cobra. Then make your way back to down dog, chest to thighs. Push into the hands and feet, lift up the hips, squeeze those heels back. Breath in, left leg lifts. Breath out, knee to nose. Breath in, left leg lifts. Breath out, left knee to the left heel of the hand, left foot underneath the body. Untuck the toes, drop the back knee. Rock the hips, roll the shoulders. How does the left compare to the right? Never mirror image, always different from one side to the other. Tucking the back toes under, lifting the back knee. Lift that left leg back to meet up to the ceiling, back to meet the right. Take a paddle through the feet, nod and shake of the heads. Start to walk the feet towards the front of the mat. Keep the hips high. Bend the knees. Take a hold of the elbows. Let go of any tension in the neck. Maybe just rock that body from side to side. Then release the hands. Slowly curl up through that spine, one vertebra at a time. Bring yourself all the way up to standing. Bring the hands down by the sides of the body. Bring your weight into your left foot. Reach up with the right knee. Try and keep the pelvis neutral. Left hand onto the right knee. Right hand into the lower back. Breathe in, elongate. Breathe out, rotate. Finding that standing balance rotation on one leg. Noticing those muscles in the ankles of the left foot, in those calves. Encourage the right shoulder back a little more, the left shoulder around. Resist with that right knee as you're pulling with the left hand to make that rotation. Keep tucking the tailbone down, lifting the lower belly up. Tethering those ribs and hips to protect that lower back. One more breath here. And then turn back to the front, hold it in the position, raise the hands to the ceiling, hold it there, relax the shoulders, lengthen the arms, release that right foot back to meet the left, hands to the hips, roll the shoulders up to the ears, release them back down. Put your weight this time into your right leg, lift your left knee without the pelvis going into a hike. Right hand onto the left knee, left hand into the lower back. Elongate, grow up through the crown, rotate and twist to the left. Keep using the force of the left knee, the pull of the right hand to find that rotation. Pelvis neutral, waist is twisting, shoulders are turning. They're just coming along for the journey to make that twist through the waist. Tuck that tailbone under, lower belly up, tether of the ribs and the hips. Noticing how that right standing leg feels. Come back to the centre, keep the leg lifted. As you raise the arms, just for a breath, taking the arms into flexion. Release the leg, release the hands. Take a roll of the shoulders. And then stepping your left foot back, turning towards that long edge of the mat. Bringing the hands onto the hips, breathe in. Breathe out, half fold. I'll mirror image you here, taking your right hand onto the left thigh. Taking your left hand behind the back to find the right thigh. Turn and twist to the left side. Lifting up through that left shoulder, dropping through the right shoulder. Micro bend the knees if those hamstrings are still a little tight. One more breath. Come back to the centre, hands to the hips. Then taking your left hand to the right thigh. Your right hand behind the back to the left thigh. Twist and turn to the right. Soften the knees if you need to. Lifting that right shoulder higher, dropping the left shoulder lower. One more breath here. Release, hands back to the hips. Lift up through the body. Turn back towards the front of the mat. Step the left foot through. Breathe in, raise the hands. Breathe out, bring the hands to the chest, curl through the head, the upper spine, the middle spine, bend the knees. As you slowly bring those hands to the floor, chest to the thighs, bringing your nose into the knees. Breathe in, half lift, hands onto the shins. Breathe out, place the hands to the floor, step back to a plank. Release the knees, untuck the toes, drop the chest. Roll through, up, lift. Release back, chest to thighs. Lifting the hips, squeezing the heels back. Coming down onto the knees, seat to the feet, untuck the toes. Taking one more round of Earth Salutation before we go into relaxation. Breathe in. Breathe out, turn the palms forward, open the chest. Push into the tops of the feet as you breathe in, lift the hands to the ceiling. Breath out, bring the hands forward, sit bones back. Scoop through into a baby cobra or an up dog. Make your way back to down dog. Chest to thighs. Push into the hands, push into the feet, lift up the hips. Breath in, right leg lifts. Breath out, knee to nose. Breath in, right leg lifts. Breath out, knee to the heel of the hand, right foot underneath that body. Untuck the back toes, drop the back knee. Rock those hips, move those shoulders. And tuck those back toes under, lift that back knee, right leg lifts. Right foot back to meet the left. Take a paddle of the feet. Come down to the knees. Sit bones to the heels, hands to the thighs, shoulders over the hips. Breathe in. Breathe out, turn the palms forward, open the chest. Breathe in, push into the tops of the feet, raise the hands. Breathe out, fold over the legs, hands forward, sit bones back. Scoop through with the body. Lift up the chest. Release that chest back down. Tuck under the toes. Chest back to the thighs. Push into the hands, push into the feet. Lift up the hips. Squeeze those heels back. Breath in, left leg lifts. Breath out, knee to chest. Breath in, left leg lifts. Breath out, left knee to the left heel of the hand, left foot underneath the body. Untuck the toes, drop the back knee, rock the hips, roll the shoulders. Move through that spine. Then tuck the back toes under, lift the back knee, raise the left foot to the ceiling. Bring it back to meet the right. Take a paddle of the feet. Come down to the knees. Swing the legs around to the front of the mat. Bums into the centre. Heels just into the bum. Hands behind the back. Push the chest forward, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Let the knees drop over to your left side with the heels, ankles, knees stacked, shoulders face the front. That little rotation still through the waist, so now the pelvis is moving and the hips and the shoulders are stabilising. Bring that body back into the centre, knees to the middle, then take the knees over to your right side, shoulders in the centre, twisting through the waist. Knees back to the middle. Keep the knees in the centre, then drop them out to the side. Bring the soles of the feet in towards you, elbows to the inside of the thighs. Relax the shoulders, lengthen the spine, then fold over those thighs. Taking a hold of the feet, maybe turning the soles of the feet up to the ceiling, getting into the inside of those thighs, stretching and lengthening those inner adductors. Then bring those knees back together. Straighten out your right leg. Bring your left foot over the right. Reach up with your right hand and hook it over that left knee. Bring your left hand behind. Elongate, inhale, rotate, exhale. Active toes on that right leg, bringing them back to the shins so we get into those back chain of muscles. Use the breath to find the rotation, that range of movement. Just holding just for another breath here. And then turning and twisting around to the opposite side to counterpose the twist. Then letting that left leg come out long. Take a bend into your right knee this time. Hook it over the left. Reach up with the left arm, hook it over that right knee. Right hand comes behind. Elongate, inhale, rotate, exhale. Active toes on that left leg. Rotation around to that right side of the room. Pelvis grounded, sit bones rooted into the floor. One more breath here. Then counterpose to the other side, just rotating and turning to the opposite side of the mat. Then bring both legs out straight in front of you. Give them a little paddle. Arms out shoulder height. Release slowly and mindfully to the floor, using those long limbs, feeling each vertebra come down one at a time with control. And when those shoulders reach the mat, bring the arms to cactus arms or T-shape. Take a bend into both knees. Heels and knees stay together. Let the knees go over to the left, the gaze to the right. Feel that twist, rotation. Feel that stretch down the back right side of the body. Keep pushing that right shoulder into the floor. So the chest is facing up, the hips are facing the left. Bring those knees back into the centre. Make sure the spine feels neutral first. And then take the knees over to the right, the gaze to the left, keeping the left shoulder down, feeling the stretch down the back left side of the body. Knees and ankles stacked. Bring Bring those knees back into the centre. Hug those knees into the chest. Hold the knees nice and tight into the body. Maybe make some circles with the knees in one direction and back the other way. Squeeze it in one more time. And release the feet to the floor. Bring the feet out long to the ends of the mat. Arms out to the side. Fingertips gently curled, palms facing up. Push into the heels, tuck the tailbone under. Bring the arch out of that lower back and give those hips a little rock from side to side. Take a turn of the head in one direction, back through centre, over to the other side, back into the middle. Take a nice long easy breath in through the nose, long sigh out through the mouth. Just allow that body to be supported by the earth. Feel grounded, feel stable. Noticing the parts of the body that are touching the floor. If you're happy to stay here for a little longer, pause me now. If you wish to start to move the body with me, bringing yourself into a more seated position, start to wiggle the fingers, the toes, maybe rotate those ankles and wrists. If you wish to take that full body stretch, stretching the hands up and over the head, stretching through the fingers, the toes, maybe arching into that lower back. Then bringing the hands back up and over, bringing the knees into the chest, maybe having a little rock of that body from side to side. Then rolling over onto one side, make a pillow with the hands. Take a couple of long, easy breaths in this fetal position. And then when you're ready, slowly making your way up to seated, either into a cross-legged position or on the knees, crossing the feet if you're cross-legged in the opposite direction to what you're possibly used to doing. Place the hands on the thighs. Breathe in, bring those hands up to the ceiling, bring the palms together at the top, then bring the hands to the chest, soft gaze to the floor. Have peace in your thoughts, words, hearts, from my heart to yours. Namaste.